We're always told that the real keys to our health are super complex, right? Hidden in some obscure molecule. But what if one of the most powerful secrets has been hiding in plain sight this whole time, disguised as the simplest little building block you can imagine? Well, welcome to the Glycine Paradox.
So, this is glycine. And if you crack open any textbook, it's literally the smallest, most basic amino acid there is. It's so simple, in fact, that it's officially considered non-essential. Why? Because our bodies can supposedly just make it. Honestly, it sounds kind of boring.
Or is it? Because, let me tell you, that simple little definition is hiding a massive physiological reality. This molecule, it's not just some passive building block. Oh no. It is a potent signaling agent, a master regulator, and this is the kicker. It's something your body is almost certainly chronically starved of.
All right, so let's crack this code. The very first piece of the puzzle is what scientists are now calling the glycine gap. And it's exactly what it sounds like, a massive mismatch between what our biology desperately needs and what we can actually get. Okay, here's the number that really changes the whole game. 10 grams. That's right, 10. That's how much glycine your body needs every single day. And that's just to rebuild its collagen. The literal scaffolding for your skin, your joints, all your organs. And believe me, that's before we even touch on all the other critical jobs it has to do. And this chart right here, it just lays out the scale of the problem perfectly. We need that 10 grams, right? Well, our typical diet only gives us about 1.5 to 3 grams. And our body's own production, it just can't make up that huge shortfall. That massive deficit, that is the glycine gap. And it has some pretty profound consequences for all of us. Okay, so let's talk about one of its most powerful and frankly coolest applications, sleep. Now, glycine is not a sedative. It's not going to knock you out like a sleeping pill. It's way more elegant than that. Think of it like a biological switch, one that actually hacks your body's own thermostat to help you fall asleep naturally. So here's how that hack actually works. First, glycine hits these special receptors in a part of your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN for short. That's basically your brain's master clock. This signal triggers vasodilation, which just means your blood vessels widen to let out heat. This brings down your core body temperature, and that drop in temp is the #1 trigger your body uses to initiate sleep. See? It's not forcing you to sleep, it's just enabling the process that's already built in. So, what's the dose you need to flip that switch? Well, the clinical trials have really zeroed in on this one. The effective amount to kickstart this process is 3 grams, taking about 30 to 60 minutes before you actually want to hit the pillow.
And check out the real-world effect. We're not just talking about falling asleep faster. People in these studies consistently report waking up feeling way more refreshed, with less of that daytime grogginess, even when they don't get a full 8 hours. Glycine is all about improving the quality and the restorative power of the sleep you do get.
But the story gets so much bigger than just a good night's sleep. I mean, think about it. That deep, restorative sleep, that's your body's prime time for repair. So let's zoom out a bit and talk about longevity. Because it turns out glycine is a massive player in dialing back the fundamental hallmarks of aging itself.
And it all starts with structure. Remember that collagen we talked about? Well, glycine makes up a full 1/3 of it. A third. It forms this tight helix structure that gives your skin, your joints, and all your tissues their strength and integrity. So if you don't have enough glycine, well, your body's fundamental scaffolding just starts to weaken.
But the real anti-aging code gets unlocked when you combine glycine with another compound called N-acetylcysteine, or NAC. Together, they form what's known as GlyNAC. And here's why that's so important. Glycine is absolutely essential for your body to make glutathione, and glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. The problem is, as we get older, our glutathione levels totally plummet, leaving us wide open to damage. And the results from supplementing with GlyNAC are, well, they're staggering. In clinical trials with older adults, it restored their glutathione levels right back to what you'd see in young, healthy people. And that led to less oxidative stress, better mitochondrial function, a huge drop in inflammation, and even real-world improvements in muscle strength and walking speed. This isn't just about slowing aging down. We're talking about reversing key aspects of it at the cellular level. Okay, now let's pivot to another absolutely critical system, your metabolism. Because this ability to fight inflammation and repair cells, it isn't just about aging gracefully. It is central to your metabolic health. And glycine's role here is profound and has been almost completely overlooked until now.
And check this out. This is a huge clue. Researchers have found that low levels of glycine in the blood are a super reliable biomarker for major metabolic diseases. We're talking obesity, type 2 diabetes, and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. The correlation isn't just there, it's incredibly strong. So how does it do all that? Well, glycine is a multitasker. It stimulates GLP-1, which is a key hormone for controlling your blood sugar. It improves your insulin sensitivity. It actively fights the chronic inflammation that drives metabolic syndrome. And it supports your liver in processing fats. It's a true multi-system metabolic optimizer.
Okay, so we've covered the why. Now, let's get to the how. This is your blueprint, a clear, evidence-based guide for actually putting glycine to work. So let's break down the actual protocols. For improving sleep quality, the target is that 3-gram dose, about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. For joint and collagen support, basically to fill that glycine gap, the evidence points to about 10 grams daily. And for that longevity boost with GlyNAC, the studies are using around 7 to 8 grams of both glycine and NAC, usually split up throughout the day. Now, it's really crucial to make a distinction here between glycine and melatonin, because they are not the same thing. Melatonin is what's called a chronobiotic. It's a signal that tells your brain's clock, hey, it's dark outside. Glycine, on the other hand, is a thermoregulator. It's what actually initiates the physical process of cooling your body down that allows sleep to begin. They work through totally different, though maybe complementary, mechanisms. So, we end up right back where we started, with a paradox. What if one of the most powerful tools for optimizing your sleep, your metabolism, and even the aging process isn't some complex, expensive new drug, but the simplest little building block that you've been missing all along?